Hello, welcome to class, and this is Module 8 of Immigration Counselling and Management. And we'll be talking about immigration laws and policies, which is actually um, a comparative perspective. And we'll look at the overview of immigration law and the immigration law and system for United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and also for Nigeria. And we also look at the immigration policy within Europe, European Union also. We will finally look at the legal responsibilities of immigration counselors also. And let's look at the uh, what shapes an immigration system. What shapes an immigration system? Every country immigration system is built on a foundation of one statutory law, and this is actually the primary um, legislation. It's actually the primary legislation, and for example, the US INA, Canada's IRPA, and that defines rules for entry, stay, and removal. And the next is the regulatory um, the regulatory procedure, the regulatory procedure, and it's actually a detailed operational rules set by government agencies. And we also have the policy directives, which is the um, government prioritize or priorities that guides decision making, like focusing on skilled labor or family unification. And lastly is the international agreement, which is treaties and conventions, that is a refugee convention, the EU treaties that influence national laws. Let's compare uh, the law based on regions or country. For the uh, United States, the system focuses on employment and family based, and the key features is it's actually complex, it's quota driven, and it's diversity visa lottery. It's known for its diversity visa lottery. For Canada, it focuses on economic and humanitarian services, and the key features is the point-based provincial nominee program. For the United Kingdom, it's actually the system focus on skilled and temporary. It's focused on skill, and it is actually temporary. And the future is on it's on post Brexit, Brexit, and also point-based and employer-sponsored. And for Australia, the system focuses on skill migration, and it's actually highly structured post-based system. And for Nigeria, it's based on regulation and control, and it focuses on entry or exit control, ECOWAS, and also ECOWAS regional mobility. And for um, European Union, for the European Union, it harmonizes the and it's for harmonization and national. It focuses on harmonization and nationals, and um, EU directives with national. It is with EU directives with national implementations. For the United States, just like we've been saying, the key principle include it's governed by the Immigration and Nationality Act, and it's actually clear distinctions between non-immigrants, which is temporary, and immigrants, which is permanent visa. And key pathway include um, employment-based, family-based, and diversity visa lottery. And key agency include the USCIS, which is for petition, the DOS for visa, the CBP for borders, and the ICE for enforcement. And counselors' role include navigating complex quotas, the caps, and also the strict eligibility criteria. For Canada, which has been said is a point-based model. And the principle, they are governed by the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, the IRPA, and it's designed to attract economic immigrants who can integrate quickly. And key pathways include express entry, which is manages application for skilled workers, and candidates are ranked by comprehensive ranking system. Points for age, education and language experience. Another is provincial nominee program, which allows provinces to nominate candidates for local labor needs. And the last is family sponsorship and humanitarian program. And key agency for this include the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, which is IRCC. And counselor plays a role to help clients in maximizing CRS scores and navigate the PNP opinion. For the United Kingdom, it's actually a post-Brexit system, and it's governed by the Immigration Act and the Immigration Rule. And it's a post-Brexit EU national are subject to the same rule as non-EU nationals. And key pathway includes skilled worker visa, and it requires a job offer for licensed sponsor. And another is student route, which is for international students. Another is the temporary work and youth mobilization scheme. And the last one is indefinite leave or to remain, indefinite leave to remain, which is permanent settlement for after 5 years. And key agencies include the UK Visa and Immigration. And counselor role in this is to ensure employer sponsorship is valid and guide clients on salary and skill requirements. For Australia, it's actually a structured point system, and it's governed by the Migration Act 1958 and Migration Regulation 1994. And it's actually one of the world's most structured post-based system. And the pathway include the general skill migration and also the employers sponsored. It is employer sponsored, and another pathway is student, which and working holiday visa. And key agency include Department of Home Affairs, and the counselor's role is to conduct detailed point tests and advise on skill assessment and occupation list. For Nigeria, it's actually a system of control and regional integration, and it's governed by the Immigration Act 2015 and administered by the Nigerian Immigration Services, and it's balanced national security with economic development. And for Nigeria, the key pathway include entry for foreigners in terms of tourists, businesses and student visa. Another is work and residence, and the last one is regional mobility, and the key agency is the Nigerian Immigration Service. And the role of a counselor is to advise on strict employer sponsorship, the rules for work permit, and also ensure compliance with local regulations. For the EU, which is a harmonized framework, the principle, the free movement for EU citizens within the Schengen area, and it's a controlled migration for non-EU nationals with share EU directives and national implementation. And key concepts and pathway include the Schengen visa, which is for short stay up to 90 days across 27 European countries. And there is also the EU Blue Card for highly skilled non-EU workers, similar to US Green Card. And there is also the long stay national visa, which is issued by individual member states for study or work exceeding 90 days. And there is also a family the Unification and Asylum Directive, which set minimum standard across the EU. And key bodies include the European Commission, the Frontex, which is border control. Looking at the legal responsibility of an immigration counselor, um, it includes duty of accuracy, that is provision of truth, current, and complete information. Misrepresentation is a legal liability. Another is duty of confidentiality. It owns the duty to protect clients' data and comply with laws. And also, another is duty of to avoid fraud, never assist with document falsification or false claim. Also, duty of competence, that is maintaining up-to-date knowledge through continuous professional development. And that duty is to educate clients. That is, you clearly explain visa conditions, rights, and also consequences of non-compliance. The next is duty of record keeping. The consequences of failing legal responsibilities include for client visa refusal or cancellation, long-term entry ban, deportation, criminal charges, and for counselor, civil liability in terms of lawsuit for negligence, criminal liability in terms of prosecution for fraud, professional sanction, which is loss of license or accreditation. And the last one is reputational damage, which is irreversible loss of trust and business. And best practice for ethical and legal um, counseling include stay informed, be transparent, document everything, know your limit, prioritize the client's best interest, and obtain informed consent. In conclusion, immigration law are complex framework shaped by statutes, regulation, policy, and international agreements. Major destinations have distinctive system, and the US is quota driven. Canada, UK, and Australia uses point-based model for skilled workers. Nigeria focuses on control. The EU combines free movement with national rules. And the comparative knowledge allows counselors to be able to match clients to the most strategic pathway. Counselors have serious legal responsibility of accuracy, confidentiality, avoiding fraud, and maintaining competence. And failure to uphold this duty have severe consequences for both the client and counselor. Thank you.